Hi all. Okay, a few of us in the FormLabs user forum have been having issues with our prints, and I think we've identified it as being attributed to the laser flare on the new Form1 lasers. A guy called KevinHolmes, a user, KevinHolmes, started a thread a couple of days back, and he did some great work actually identifying there was laser flare causing problems on his prints, with his prints, and a few of us have followed on and done similar tests to try and actually tie down where we're having problems. I'll put a link into this thread in the YouTube description. Okay, so one of the things that Kevin suggested was that we all start actually testing our lasers in a set way to try and standardize things a bit more, because we're all actually testing our lasers differently. So I had some spare time this afternoon. What I've done is I've created a paper template for people to use that you will be able to download. Again, I'll include all the links in the video description, so you'll be able to download this paper template. It's printed on an A4 sheet. Really important that you don't scale up or scale down, so you want to set your printer preferences to not to scale it, and it should fit on an A4 piece of paper like this. So basically, once it's printed, cut along the dotted lines and fold the corners up so you get a bit of a flange on. The idea of the flange is basically just to give it a bit of stiffness for when you run your test. Obviously, this is the rear of the printer over here. Make sure that this side is facing up when you do your tests. But I'll go all through this actually with the printer. So what I've done is I've created a little target box, and this is where the spot test should appear. And then I've given you, so when you get down close with your camera or your iPhone or whatever you're using to record the image, you'll have a good reference and orientation points, basically, so we all know which is the front of the printer and which is the rear of the printer, etc. I've included a little thing here, a test date field. So obviously, once you've made one of these templates, you just fill this in with pencil and take your photograph. Then you go a good recording of the date that you ran your test, basically. And then there's some other bits and bobs here. I'm going to put all the stuff up for people to share and use on Magent.com. I've stopped using Thingiverse a while back, and then I've also put a link in here that you can go to, and it'll take you back to this this thread that Kevin started, and if you could post your results there, that'd be really great. And hopefully we'll get to the bottom of what's causing our problems. Right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at I'm just going to take it that you've printed your sheet and you've cut it out and you've folded these edges up. So once you've done that, you need to get preform ready, so that this diagnostic tag appears. Now, this, from what I can gather, there's two ways to do it. I'm using Windows 7. So I'm not sure how you do it on a Mac, but what I'll do as well, I'll actually give you a link to FormLabs instructions that they sent me to do it. It's a bit of a roundabout arse way of doing it, but more complicated, a little bit more fiddly, but you should be able to do it. So what I'll do is I'll just run you through how I've done it, and this was thanks to Kevin again, who posted this little trick. So wherever I start a preform now, I'll have a little diagnostic tag here that I can run the laser spot test from. Okay, this computer isn't actually connected up to my printer, so that's why it's grayed out over here. So firstly, I'm going to show you the details, the instructions that FormLabs will send you out, their support. So basically, there's a Mac version and a Windows version. The Windows version, you need to press Control R. for me, this is a more difficult version, so I'm going to show you this way of doing it, and then I'll show you the easier version of the way of doing it. So for the Windows version, what you need to do is press your Windows key and R, and you'll get this little dialog box pop up. And here you need to type CMD and press enter. Okay, then you're going to get this black command line, whatchamacallit, pop up, and you need to type in an address basically in here. It needs to be absolutely exact, so all the spaces need to be there, all the pop that box back up again. Okay, so all the spaces need to be there, and all the like quotations and forward slashes and backward slashes, it needs to be exactly as you can see here for Windows 7. There's one here for Windows XP. So yeah, so it's a bit of a pain because you can't actually copy and paste this into the dialog box. So before I'd learned Kevin's trick, it was a real pain actually running the test. Now, so you'll run it, and then you'd so when you start up, once you've done that and press enter, FormLabs would boot up, load up, and you'd have a diagnostics tab here. But once you've when you close it and open up it again, that diagnostic tag would be missing. Okay, so I'm not going to type it all in because it's a real pain. I'm just going to show you how Kevin, what Kevin shared with us with the community. It's a really easy way of doing it. So come out of that. Many of you will have a shortcut to Preform. I've got one down here on my, don't know what, toolbar or whatever it's called here. And what you want to do is just right click on that, yeah, and it'll drop up this menu. This is Windows 7. So, and then right click on the Preform logo and program, and you want to go into the properties for this. Okay, and over here what you have is in the target for the application, you'll have everything that's been written here, yeah, but you'd also have, oh, where's it gone? Let's get back to Windows. Oh, lost it completely. Okay, I need to do that again, so let's run through that again. Preform. Oh, I've opened it. Cancel, cancel, close. Okay, so right click on Preform, properties, and then here we go. Here's the address, and this is exactly as what's on the FormLabs instructions. And all you need to do is add this last little bit in here. So you got space, then a dash, and then diagnostics. Okay, just as it is there. And then all you need to do is click apply if you haven't already done it. Okay, and that's it. And now whenever you open Preform, you'll have the diagnostics tag pop up ready for you to run your spot laser test. Right, okay, so I think that's mainly explained most of that. Again, I'll just, before we go any further, FormLabs ask you to basically take the photograph and document your laser flare actually through the orange case. It's probably a health and safety thing. So, but what I find is very difficult to get a clear picture of your laser flare, mainly because the camera is focusing on the case. And you've got reflections and all sorts of other things getting in the way. And quite a few blokes, I think the majority of blokes doing this test now, are actually just getting a little magnet, and you just need to place it directly where the little magnetic switches, safety switches, and once you put your magnet on there, basically the printer thinks that the lid is closed, and you can run your test. Obviously, you're now at risk of a laser, so obviously wear the appropriate eye protection with the sort of laser eye protection. So just be careful. I haven't had any problems, and it's been fine for me to do. But just be aware that that laser isn't being filtered at all now. and I'm not really sure whether it'll actually damage your eyes or not. So play it safe. Just buy some appropriate laser safety glasses, and you'll be fine. Okay, so I haven't actually used the glasses. I've just taken care, but if I would advise you to actually buy those glasses and use those glasses when carrying out this test. So okay, what we'll do now is I'm just going to go over to the printer, and we can run the test there, and I'll just show you how I'm photographing it and how it all works. Okay, right, here we are at my very messy workstation at the moment. I'm trying to sort out this problem. Okay, so I've taken it you've all got your downloaded your paper template. You've cut it out and you basically just folded it, did some origami or whatever it's called, and folded it up as so. So yeah, that's just, like I said, those little flange bits are just to stiffen out the paper a little bit. Again, you need to open your printer, remove the your bulb platform first, always, and then remove your resin tray carefully and put it aside. Once you've done with that, grab your template. Okay, so this side's facing up and it goes into the printer this way. Open your cover, move out the way, slide it in carefully. Obviously, before you start sliding and opening your cover, just make sure there's no dust on your paper. You don't want any dust or anything falling onto your mirrors. I try and keep this area closed at all times. So basically that's it. That's the paper in place. It should line up roughly where the target is for the laser spot test. Once you've done that, then find yourself a little magnet. I'm just going to try. Whoops. So all I've got here is it's on another a plastic bag printed for another printer. It's just a rare earth magnet, one of those little rare earth magnets. I'm sure you could use a fridge magnet or anything that's strong enough. We look at the printer. Actually, I'll just zoom in for you so you can see. If we look at the whoops, excuse me. Okay, so if we look at the printer, the case, there's a teensy-weensy little magnet just here. And that's what tells the printer that the lid's closed and it's okay to use the laser, etc. So what we need to do is basically just put our magnet in that area, which is rough, and you can tell where when you've activated, because you see the lights flashing over here, telling us that the cover's closed. Move that a little bit, zoom out. Okay, so it's flashing to us, the cover's open, please close the cover. We just pop this little magnet on there, and all that's going to do is just trick it basically to think that the cover's down, so we can run the test. Okay, so let me set up the camera. Okay, ideally, I find the best time of day to do this is at night when it's dark or in a dark room, and that way you can get a really nice laser pattern showing on your sheet. One thing I haven't done is put a date on there. Like I say, if you just write on that with pencil, then you can reuse this. You just rub out your pencil and you can put the next test date in. It's just a good keep record of your, keep track of your laser. So just zoom in on the target area. So when you first run the test, what you want to do is just try and line up your paper so that the laser's firing in that box really. So here we go. We'll just start up the laser now. So I've gone into Preform. I've opened up the software and the diagnostics button is showing. So we click on the diagnostic button and there we select laser spot test. So we click on that, and then once that's there, obviously read all the bits and bobs, and then like I say, we'll be doing the test with the lid open. As I explained earlier, taking photographs through the casing is quite difficult. All you have to do is press start. And what we find is that the laser flares. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I think it lasts about 10 seconds. Obviously, be very careful now because it's a laser. and make sure you're wearing your safety laser glasses, and if you're not, just take extra care. So that's going to run for about 10 seconds and it switches off. So once we know that the laser is firing in where we need it to, you can move the paper around ever so slightly, but if you just push it in and push it up, the way I've designed this sheet, it should be bang in the middle. If it's not, just fill it around. It's not 100% important. It's just handy for when we need to see the orientation of the flares, etc. Okay, so what I'll do now is, what we're going to do is this is the way I record the flare. Let me zoom out now. Okay, I've got a fairly old camera really. It's a Canon, so we'll look here, turn the lights back on. So I've got a Canon PowerShot S3IS, and it's got a little macro setting that I use, which works really well. But what I'll do is I'll also take some pictures with an iPhone and a Samsung Galaxy. I think we've got knocking around, and hopefully they'll turn out good enough for us all to have a look at and diagnose or help determine where we're having the faults. The camera I was using, so like I said, it's got a little macro button on it, so I've pressed that, and the nice thing about it is I can view it through the viewfinder, so I don't actually need to lean over it. I wouldn't suggest anyone lean over it with adequate laser eye protection. So even before I fire it up again, I'm just going to have a look and just do a test picture to make sure everything's okay. That's worked out fine. So all I need to do now is just run the test again from the computer. That's finished. Okay, so I need to run it again. Diagnostics. There's the spot test. As soon as it starts, you need to be quite quick. Probably do someone giving you a hand. Okay, you might need to fiddle around a bit, but and obviously try and keep your hand still if it's dark. Take a couple. Okay, I need to run it again. I only got one away there, so we just run it again quickly. Okay, I mean, you can run it as many times as you want. It's not going to do any. I don't think it's going to do any harm. So again, hold it over. Go to zoom. Hold it really steady because it's asking for a flash, and then take the picture. So you might need to fiddle around to get a nice clear picture. Next, we'll do an old iPhone and see how that works. Okay, so I'm going to run the laser test for the iPhone now. It's an old iPhone, so we'll see what we get with that. Okay, so it's fired up. Oops, where are we? There we go. Try and get in focus. Doesn't look like it's coming out as nice as the actual camera, because I don't think it's actually focusing all that well. Mirror it again, I'll see if I can get to focus on the test. Okay, let's try and get to focus on the test. Oops. Okay, that doesn't look great really. It's not really showing it all well. I'll have a look when I download. And then next up we'll try a Samsung Galaxy, I think it's a Galaxy 4, son got for Christmas, so let's give that a whirl. I think this one's going to work a lot better. It seems to have a much better camera in it. So, get to focus. Yeah, this is really good. This is. Okay, I'll just do another one. So you can get a bit closer. Yeah, those look really good on the Samsung phone. So I think any modern phone you should be okay taking that image. You don't need a posh camera. So that's basically it. And then all you need to do is just have a look at your image and share it. So what I'll do is now I'll just download these images, and we can have a quick chat about them and take it from there. Okay, cheers. Okay then, some photos. So first up we've got the Canon Sure Shot. Not great. but they're more inadequate. For those that aren't following the conversation on the FormLabs forum, it's this part of the flare that we feel's causing a lot of the issues. I don't think these really hurt, apart from the really bright, intense areas, but I think it's actually this part. But anyway, that's I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so this is the Canon. That weren't too bad, and that was a bit blurry. So obviously, spend some time and try and get a nice crisp shot. A good indicator is have a look at the text over here, and that'll give you a good idea of whether it's in focus or not. Okay, so next up we're going to have a look at the old, I think it's an iPhone 2 shots. So have a quick meters here. Which one is it? Okay, these ones really didn't come out all that well, as you can see here. Now, obviously, there's no real point in actually sending this to FormLabs support or posting. It's not really an accurate representation of the error or the test results. I mean, with your naked eye, you can see that's not correct. So, you know, whatever you do, don't send it in, because I think that's just going to send everyone on a wild goose chase. So have a look at some others in this. Yeah, they're not brilliant with the old iPhone. It must be what, 6-7 years old. So they aren't great. And then lastly was the Samsung, the new Samsung. I think it's the Galaxy 4, if I recall, that my son got for his Christmas present from Santa. Oh no, that's the iPhone. Ignore that one. Let's close that one. Let's close that one because I don't need it. It must be this one. Oops. Okay, so there we have a nice, really nice crisp image from the Galaxy. Like I said, I'm not a photographer, and I don't pretend to be one. So yeah, there's no special settings on the phone that I've used. I've just literally held the phone over, try to hold it as steady as I could, and press the button. Again, you can see the really strong flare at the back of mine. And on this picture, you can actually see there's actually a flare coming up the front as well. That might cause issues. But that's all hearsay at the moment. We're all trying to work and resolve it. Okay, so right, I think that's basically all there is to say about it. Again, please be safe with your eyes. If any doubt, don't do the test with the hood up. Get some glasses and then do it. But if you take it easy and steady and take your time, I'm sure a lot of you won't have any problems. And I'm sure we'll all look forward to seeing your laser tests. Okay, thanks for watching.